Hello, and welcome to the Shurley English Workshop Series. Today's topic is how to teach Pattern 2 sentences with confidence. As your students learn different sentence patterns and how all the parts of speech work together to write them, writing sentences, paragraphs, and essays becomes easier. Shurley English helps students make the connection between grammar skills and writing by using a unique combination of features. Abstract concepts become clear and logical using these concrete, multisensory strategies that support all types of learners. Today, I will take you through each Shurley English feature used to teach Pattern 2. Let's begin with jingle time. Students must understand what it takes to write a complete sentence, so it's a good idea to begin with a review of the sentence jingle. After reciting the sentence jingle, remind your students that when we write or speak, we use different types of sentences to express what we want to say. Some sentences are long and some are short, but there are 5 things that all sentences have in common. Complete sentences contain a subject, a verb, complete sense. They begin with a capital letter and end with an end mark. The number of possible word combinations to create sentences is almost limitless, but there are a limited number of sentence patterns. Let's take a closer look. A sentence pattern is the pattern or order of the core parts of the sentence. This chart illustrates the core parts of each sentence pattern and the level where each pattern is introduced and reinforced. Traditional textbooks teach these same patterns, but you might notice a slight difference. Shurley English always labels a noun by its job. For instance, take a look at the first pattern. Instead of saying that the core of a Pattern 1 sentence includes just a noun and a verb, making it the noun-verb pattern, we teach students to call the noun by its job. We teach them to label and classify the core parts by saying subject, noun, verb, Pattern 1. The blue labels illustrate the noun jobs in each sentence pattern. Shurley English teaches students the most basic sentence pattern first, Pattern 1. Using a unique feature called the question and answer flow, students learn how to ask the right questions to label and classify all the words in a sentence. The question and answer flow teaches students to identify the core parts of a sentence first, and the core parts of a Pattern 1 sentence include a subject and a verb. As these two parts of speech are spoken together using the Q&A flow, students will hear correct subject-verb agreement. At the same time, they will also learn to listen for complete sense. If the subject and verb do not make complete sense, students will learn to identify additional core parts. Let's review Pattern 1 by using the question and answer flow to label and classify the sentence. Ready? The lost duck flew near the barn. What flew near the barn? Duck. Subject, noun. What is being said about duck? Duck flew. Verb, near. Preposition, near what? Barn. Object of the preposition, the article adjective. What kind of duck? Lost. Adjective, the article adjective. Subject, noun, verb, Pattern 1 skill check. Near the barn. Prepositional phrase, period statement, declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Remember that the question and answer flow also includes a skill check that identifies prepositional phrases, labels the kind of sentence, and separates the complete subject from the complete predicate. Eventually, students will check for adverb exceptions and natural and inverted word order as well during the skill check. Now that we have reviewed sentence pattern 1, Let's talk about the core parts of a Pattern 2 sentence. A Pattern 2 sentence has two nouns and a verb transitive. The pattern is labeled in Shurley English as Subject Noun Verb Transitive Direct Object Pattern 2. Remember that sentence patterns are identified by their core parts. Even in sentences with a subject pronoun, the sentence pattern will remain Subject Noun Verb Transitive Direct Object Pattern 2. The subject noun is a symbolic holder for the subject noun or pronoun of a sentence pattern. Students will learn that nouns can have different jobs or functions in a sentence. So far, they have studied two nouns in Pattern 1. They have learned that a noun can be a subject, and they have also learned that a noun can be the object of the preposition. In Pattern 2, students will learn about a new noun job called the direct object. Indirect objects are taught in Pattern 3, and predicate nouns are introduced in Pattern 4. During the introductory lesson to Pattern 2, students will begin with jingle time and recite the direct object jingle for the first time. They will recite it a couple of times together to get used to its rhythm, rhyme, and definition. Allow me to chant the direct object jingle for you. It goes like this. A direct object is a noun or a pro, is a noun or a pro, is a noun or a pro. A direct object completes the meaning of the sentence. A direct object follows the verb transitive. To find a direct object, ask what or whom, after the verb. After jingle time, students will learn the important information they need to know about a direct object, a transitive verb, and a Pattern 2 sentence. I'll go through the lesson to show you how to teach your students to label and classify a Pattern 2 sentence using the question and answer flow. Take a look at the example sentence below. It says, Marcus bought a skateboard. You know that students learned how to identify the subject, noun, and verb of a sentence during Pattern 1. Let's identify those two parts of speech now. Ready? Marcus bought a skateboard. Who bought a skateboard? Marcus. Subject noun. What is being said about Marcus? Marcus bought. Verb. Now let's pause for just a moment to check for subject-verb agreement and complete sense. Do the subject and verb agree? Yes. Do the subject and verb make complete sense? No. Marcus bought does not make complete sense. Another core part is necessary. Students will learn that Pattern 2 sentences contain a direct object. There are several important things to know about a direct object in order to locate one in a sentence. First of all, students will learn that a direct object is a noun or pronoun in the predicate part of the sentence that receives the action of the verb. They will also learn that the direct object does not mean the same thing as the subject noun. The question and answer flow will include a step that will verify that the direct object does not mean the same thing as the subject noun. To find a direct object, students will learn to ask what or whom after the verb. Once a direct object has been located, it must be labeled appropriately. A direct object is labeled with the abbreviation capital D, capital O. After students learn about the direct object, they will learn three important things about the verb used in a Pattern 2 sentence. First, they will learn that if there is a direct object in the sentence, the verb will always be a transitive verb. A transitive verb is an action verb that transfers action from the subject to the direct object. As you can tell in the example sentence, the verb bought is transferring action from the subject to the direct object. Students will learn to label the verb as a transitive verb after locating and labeling the direct object in the sentence. A transitive verb is labeled with the abbreviation capital V hyphen lowercase t, which stands for verb-transitive. Once the core parts of the sentence have been identified, students will be able to hear complete sense. They will learn to continue labeling and classifying the other words in the sentence using the same order of operations they learned in Pattern 1. Now let's focus on exactly what students need to know and understand about Pattern 2. Sentence patterns identify the core parts of sentences. The second sentence pattern, Pattern 2, has 3 core parts: a subject noun, a verb transitive, and a direct object. When a Pattern 2 sentence is classified, students will use these abbreviations to label it as they say, subject noun, verb transitive, direct object, Pattern 2. Allow me to demonstrate the question and answer flow to label and classify the example Pattern 2 sentence correctly. Ready? Marcus bought a skateboard. Who bought a skateboard? Marcus. Subject noun. What is being said about Marcus? Marcus bought. Verb. Marcus bought what? Skateboard. Verify the noun. Does skateboard mean the same thing as Marcus? No. Skateboard. Direct object. Bought. Verb transitive. A. Article adjective. Subject noun verb transitive direct object Pattern 2 skill check. Verb transitive check again. No prepositional phrases. Period statement. Declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Is this sentence in a natural or inverted order? Natural, no change. A verb-transitive check has been added during the skill check because students tend to forget to add the T to the verb. If they leave the T off, it is wrong. This is the reason the verb-transitive check is important for them to remember. Rest assured that we provide a question and answer flow script for every sentence in your teacher's manual. As you know, learning how to ask the right questions to get answers will help your students identify the parts of a Pattern 2 sentence. It takes knowledge, skills, and practice to label and classify them with competence and confidence. So let's label and classify 2 sentences together now using the Q&A flow. Be sure to read the sentence aloud with me and say both the questions and the answers. We will also include all 5 skill checks. Ready? Blake ate a sandwich. Who ate a sandwich? Blake. Subject noun. What is being said about Blake? Blake ate. Verb. Blake ate what? Sandwich. Verify the noun. Does sandwich mean the same thing as Blake? No. Sandwich. Direct object. Ate. Verb transitive. A. Article adjective. Subject noun verb transitive direct object Pattern 2 skill check. Verb transitive check again. No prepositional phrases. Period statement. Declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Is there an adverb exception? No. Is this sentence in a natural or inverted order? Natural, no change. Great job. Now let's label and classify another sentence together. Ready? Blake ate a ham and cheese sandwich for his snack after school. Who ate a ham and cheese sandwich for his snack after school? Blake. Subject noun. What is being said about Blake? Blake ate. Verb. Blake ate what? Sandwich. Verify the noun. Does sandwich mean the same thing as Blake? No. Sandwich. Direct object. Ate. Verb-transitive. What kind of sandwich? Ham and cheese. Compound adjective. Compound adjective. And conjunction. A. Article adjective. 4. Preposition. For what? Snack. Object of the preposition. Whose snack? His. Possessive pronoun adjective. After. Preposition. After what? School. Object of the preposition. Subject, noun, verb, transitive, direct object, pattern 2, skill check. Verb transitive, check again. For his snack, prepositional phrase. After school, prepositional phrase. Period statement. Declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Is there an adverb exception? No. Is this sentence in a natural or inverted order? Natural, no change. Nice work. As students continue to develop their knowledge, skills, and practice with direct objects, they will learn to include them when they complete a noun check. As they scan a sentence from left to right looking for noun job labels, students must decide whether the word beneath it is a noun or a pronoun. If it is a noun, it will be circled. If it is a pronoun, it will not be circled. Let's take a look at these sentences and recite the noun check together. Ready? Sentence 1. Subject noun Blake. Yes, it is a noun. Direct object, sandwich. Yes, it is a noun. Sentence 2. Subject noun Blake. Yes, it is a noun. Direct object, sandwich. Yes, it is a noun. Object of the preposition snack. Yes, it is a noun. Object of the preposition school. Yes, it is a noun. Good job. We have located 6 nouns using the noun check. Now let's turn our attention to sentence blueprints. Students have been using sentence blueprints to write sentences since Pattern 1 because they help students learn how to integrate grammar knowledge into the writing process. They also help students build their revision skills. Let me show you how easy it is to write a Pattern 2 sentence using a sentence blueprint. Take a look at the labels that have been written on the top line. For this blueprint, the student will write a Pattern 2 sentence that includes an article adjective, an adjective, a subject noun, a verb transitive, an article adjective, an adjective, and a direct object. Students learn to write the core parts of the sentence first according to the labels on the sentence blueprint. Let's take a look at the subject noun. The subject noun tells who or what the sentence is about. This student asked the question who and chose the word boy as their subject noun word choice. After writing their word choice beneath the subject noun label, the student will ask the verb question, what is being said about boy, to determine their verb. Of course, they must make sure that the verb is a transitive verb so that it will transfer action from the subject to the direct object. This student chose the verb bought, and they wrote it beneath the verb transitive label. To determine their direct object, the student must say the subject noun and verb together and then ask what or whom. It would sound like this. Boy bought what? The answer this student chose was the word bike. After writing the word bike beneath the direct object label, the student must come up with an adjective and an article adjective to modify the direct object. To determine the adjective, the student asked what kind of bike, and the word choice they made was the word new. Notice how they wrote the word new beneath the adjective label. Next, the student must choose an article adjective to modify the direct object. They chose the word a and they wrote it beneath the article adjective label. Following the order of the question and answer flow, the student sees that they must come up with an adjective and an article adjective to modify the subject noun boy. For the adjective, they asked, "What kind of boy?" and they chose the word excited and wrote it beneath the adjective label. For the article adjective label, they chose to use the word the. After writing the article adjective beneath the label, the student will be asked to rewrite the sentence in complete sentence form. They will be asked to use a checklist to ensure that they have all 5 parts of a complete sentence. They will place a check mark on the sentence checklist for each of the 5 parts of the complete sentence. After writing the original sentence, students will be taught to revise it. Revising means to look for ways to improve writing, and the first step is to strengthen the word choices that have been made, if possible. Students will be taught to go through each word in the original sentence and think about changes or improvements they want to make. They learn to think about what they really want to say and what might interest the reader. The curriculum teaches 6 word choice strategies, and students learn to apply them as they write a revised sentence. These 6 strategies include synonym changes, antonym changes, word changes, added words, deleted words, and sometimes no change at all to certain words. Students will learn to apply these word choice strategies and abbreviate the strategy used under each word in the revised sentence. Building and revising sentences help students develop the revision skills and sentence sense they need to write good paragraphs and essays. Now that students have learned to write original and revised Pattern 2 sentences, including direct objects, their sentence fluency continues to increase. As our presentation comes to an end, I hope you can see that teaching Pattern 2 is easy for you and your students using Shurley English. As students learn to use a variety of sentence patterns when writing, their sentence fluency will increase and their writing will improve. I encourage you to stay tuned for upcoming presentations that will show you how to teach the remaining sentence patterns. Thank you for attending this edition of the Shurley English Workshop Series. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our language arts instructional videos. For more information about our curriculum, please visit us at www.shurley.com.